Hi, I'm Felipe, and welcome to the Postmodern family. Today I'm taking you along for the ride for my very first cricket game. And I'm going to the ICC Bangladesh versus Afghanistan game. Remember, we make 3 new videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Hope you enjoy. I've come back from my very first cricket game, and there's so many things to say. I may struggle to find the words to say them. I think at a very basic ground level observation, it is very festive environment. So it's Bangladesh versus Afghanistan. There was lots of dancing and chanting. Excitement and Mexican waves, as you guys call them here, but in the US we just say the wave. You have to understand that while I was watching my first cricket game, I was also reading on my phone about the game because I know nothing about the game. I literally researched nothing before the game. But everyone said you'll have plenty of time to do things at the game, so I saved it for when I was at the game. So while I'm looking up about things about how many overs there are, how many bowls in an over, what the difference between test cricket, one day, if you will, cricket. I was watching the people around me, and of course it was dominated by Bangladeshis in the Aegis Bowl, a very minority Afghan crowd, but very excitable, very enthused. So that's just at the basic ground level. I think at a deeper level, my observation was that it's paradoxical to me that territories or former possessions of the empire would still take up the game of cricket, the beautiful game created and introduced to them by, let's say, the beautiful empire. With all this apologetic, self-loathing, guilt-ridden mush that whites in the UK suffer from, the rest of the world, especially the former possessions of the empire, are in no great rush to whitewash and get rid of all British things in their countries. So the legacy of the empire is quite powerful still in India, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and everywhere where redcoats and boots hit the ground and spent time there. They're certainly not suffering from this post-empire hatred, and there may be other reasons for that. I'm sure you guys who suffer from that condition of self-loathing will not hesitate to explain to me why they still play cricket, why they still speak English, why they still use systems introduced to them by the Brits. But never you mind that. Those were the cultural observations. As far as the game, I liked it. I mean, I struggled a bit, I have to be honest, I struggled a bit initially to understand because I had no guide. I was just sort of researching on the internet. The internet was just full of, I think, test cricket basic rules, the rules of cricket. And I was struggling to get what would end an inning, what would consist of the end of an inning. And finally got to the point where it was 50 overs with 6 bowls in each over. So that was one thing that I struggled with in the beginning. And then the other thing was what constituted getting a batter out and why you would want to get a batter out. So I had baseball as my context, and in baseball, when you have an inning or a half of an inning begins or ends on the basis of getting 3 outs. And you can rack up as many runs and pitch limitless number of pitches, provided you haven't gotten 3 outs as the batting team. Now with this ODE or ODI or on one-day cricket, this 50 overs cricket, it wasn't so much about outs as it was about overs. So that took me a while to register. The scoring was just phenomenal. Like, you just get 300 runs is a normal thing. It was a party atmosphere. I brought a book, other people were reading, we just sort of chilled. It was a really chill, hot, beating hot day. Well, it got very sunny out, so I had to buy a hat. What other kind of hat am I gonna buy except England cricket? And I can see myself taking my family. I went by myself in this instance because I just wasn't sure they could deal with it. But I would rather see, like, on a green, laying a blanket down with some food and multitasking, doing multiple things while watching the game, because it's not like American football, let's say, or other games where at any moment something dramatic and game-changing could occur. In this instance, the first team that batted racked up 250 some odd runs, and when they were batting, there was nothing dramatic that could change the game in that first inning. And then when the second team batted, you knew they had to catch up to 250 and surpass it. And so while they were doing that, again, it was sort of chill and nothing really could happen. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are big plays that happen in the midst of it all, really skilled plays, but in terms of the ultimate outcome of the game, the momentum is slow and it takes time to build. It isn't quite like even football here in the continent, here in Europe and England, or American football, where at any moment an interception, a change of possession, a sudden strike can really change the outlook of a game. In cricket, it doesn't seem like that. So it's really interesting. It's like it has a real English character of long, slow, simmering momentum. So I thought that was really interesting and quite representative of what I've come to know of England so far. I really enjoyed it. I think I would take my kids to an England game, maybe a shorter. I know there are shorter games with I guess with 20 overs or something like that. So I might do that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it and I would go again. I want to see England play, so. Thanks so much for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed my reflections on my very first cricket game, and catch you next time. Become a patron at patreon.com/thepostmodernfamily. Buy a music album from Lillian, and you can buy a t-shirt at teespring.com. See ya, bye.